Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition on the Xbox Series S. You can also get it on Series X, Xbox One and PC. Dead Rising 3 is an action-adventure game developed by Capcom Vancouver. The game takes place 10 years after the events of Dead Rising 2. In the main campaign, you play as Nick Ramos as he attempts to survive the zombie outbreak and escape the city of Los Perdidos. The game features online multiplayer options, but this review is mainly focused on solo play. So what is the game like to play? Well, once you've gone through the standard tutorials, you're free for the most part to explore the zombie-infested city. Your character can carry a variety of melee weapons, projectiles or health items. Almost anything can be used as a weapon in Dead Rising, from a cash register, park bench, or even a dirty great sledgehammer. Love it. The sheer weapon variety is unrivaled in gaming, and it's not just restricted to what you can find. You can also combine certain items if you learn the right blueprint. This leads to some of the most ridiculous and satisfying moments in zombie gaming history. Whether you're using a pair of electrified Freddy Krueger scissor hands, an exploding zombie flesh grenade, or a dragon suit that breathes fire, the variety is incredible and it's just joyful. But you are not alone. There are survivors who form the basic part of the story, but also you can rescue others as well as you encounter them. These can also accompany you as you explore the city. But it's the zombies that steal the show, and my goodness, there are lots of them. The sheer volume of on-screen zombies is both impressive and also quite terrifying. Whether you're exploring the streets, mowing them down in a car, or sneaking through the dark and dingy sewers, it's an experience that always keeps you on your toes, and when the sun sets also, the zombies become a lot more dangerous. In terms of story, it's broken down into chapters that have to be completed in order, but it's a race against time to level up, get the right gear and pass those challenging boss fights to make sure you do not miss the story deadline. Sadly, the main protagonist, I would say, is pretty bland and pretty lifeless, as are his NPC allies. Maybe one or two exceptions, but generally not great. But fear not, the villains. They are absolutely legendary and they completely steal the show. From a psychotic surgeon trying to drug you into submission, to a fast food addict who runs you down in her mobility scooter, or a curvy police officer with murderous tendencies.
Get away from my food!
There's plenty in here for everyone.
I see the way you looky. But you know what? I'm tired of low carbs.
Some of these bosses are core story focused, but there are others that are optional, with each one offering a challenging set piece accompanied by some ridiculous cutscenes. As you progress, you will accumulate experience, whether it be from killing zombies, bosses or activities. It's then up to you to use these attribute points on things like life, melee or ranged skills. So yeah, on the whole, it's one of the most entertaining zombie apocalypse games I've ever played. From the endless zombie bashing, the insane boss fights, or just the random things like collecting lots of cool outfits, crafting memorable weapons, or just mowing down zombies in a Ferrari. Finally, on gameplay, there are two main modes. Story is the base game, but there is Nightmare Mode 2, which offers a harder take on the story. Now, this Apocalypse Edition features all of the DLCs, including Operation Broken Eagle, Chaos Rising, The Last Agent, and Fallen Angel. Each one offers a stand-alone adventure that adds a decent amount of gameplay, and you also get the Nick Ramos Survivor Pack, so there's plenty here to get your teeth into. Visually, it's a pretty satisfying experience with huge amounts of on-screen action, no noticeable slowdown, good characters, visually, and a vast city. The menus, they're well constructed, they're easy to read, they're clear to follow. Sound wise, good effects, good music, voice acting, a bit up and down, but generally visuals and sound very good. Okay, good and bad points. What's good? The freedom of setting Dead Rising in a large city is a step up from the first two games. The weapon variety is incredible, as is the fabulous crafting. The boss fights are wonderful. There's a huge amount of content in this edition, and it never gets old killing endless hordes of zombies. It's fun, it's creative. Bad points: with so many icons on the map, it can be a little bit confusing as to what the core story really is. The HUD is a bit over the top and it gets in the way, in particular during tutorials and tips. And there's no Frank West, which means we're left with a pretty bland protagonist.
Now, this is the best part.
So what's the verdict? Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition is a quality zombie adventure game with crazy combat, silly characters and more zombies than you can shake a stick at. Sadly, there's no Frank West, which felt like a bit of an odd call considering the whole franchise is essentially about him. But despite this, Dead Rising 3 is an improvement on the first two games in terms of the location, in terms of the weapons, in terms of, better progression and more in-depth skill adjustment. Also, it's one of those games that just gets better with each playthrough as you just run amok in this wonderful and playful zombie apocalypse sandbox. For me, it is the best Dead Rising, even without Frank West. I've played them all, but this one for me, so far, out of the first three, this is the best. So my score for Dead Rising Apocalypse Edition is 8.5 out of 10. Okay, that's the review. Thanks for watching. This is Photography Gamer, signing off. Cheers.